All right, welcome to a look at songwriting. I am Crosby Tyler, and in this instructional video, I will give you a brief intro on songwriting, and I will cover what songs are, the components that make up a song, where to begin when writing a song, great songwriters to check out, classic songs to listen to, and career options. So, the first step is songs. And songs are 3-minute movies. That's right. Just imagine seeing a blockbuster movie or one of your favorite movies and sitting for 2 hours. You want to try to create that same kind of feeling in 3 minutes. So you want to tell a story. You'd like to have a beginning, middle, and end. Songs all have words and music. And in about 95% of your commercial songs of all genres, rhyming is involved. There is some sort of either verse, couplet, rhyming, or just occasional rhymes. But very rarely do you hear a commercial song that doesn't have rhyming in it. Now, again, these are principles. You can go outside the box. There is no judgment of what makes a great commercial song other than the success of that song and the masses of amounts of people that enjoy it. And that's kind of the focus here, is writing commercial songs that could be covered by artists that tend to separate yourself then from just being writing for your own band. The idea is writing a big song that can, get in the charts. The components of a song usually is a title, which is often the same as the hook or the chorus. The title is usually the hook or the chorus. And it's wise to have a unique title, something not, cliche, for instance, trying to express some sort of feeling or scene uniquely. And then you have the hook or chorus, which is the most important aspect of the song. It's the catchy phrase, the build up to this portion of the song where people usually like to sing along with it. And it's usually the most memorable aspect of a song. Now, again, hooks and choruses can sometimes come at the beginning or at the end. Sometimes they're devised differently, but usually the way the chorus comes in, it's built up to it, usually through verses. And then it just leads into the chorus. The verse is the lead in. It propels the story, or the character that or the emotion that you're trying to project in the song, or the imagery. And the verse kind of sets it up until it gets to the hook or chorus. And that's when usually melodically there's a certain bit of a change, and it's usually some sort of feeling that people want to repeat and sing over and over again. That's what makes a big, great chorus. A bridge, sometimes used in the modern era, but it was more used certainly in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and it's still used. A bridge varies from the verse and chorus musically, usually takes you out of the chorus and then into an area where melodically and musically it will change from the verse and the chorus, and then usually bring you back to the chorus, or a verse to the chorus, usually back to the chorus to end the song. Again, it's used for a variation, gives you a different emotional, melodic pattern to the song and holds the attention of the listener. How do we begin to write a song? Well, I have here 6 little tips or ways that I use. One way is, again, titles and choruses are very important. And so I use an example as you're like a butterfly collector, and you're out there with your net, and in real life, in whatever everyday situation you get in, whether it's at the grocery store or at a party or a sports event, you're listening, you're hearing people speak, and you're getting phrases. It could be at a bar or whatever. For instance, an example, I go to the ETSU gym, and there was this gentleman wearing a shirt, and on the back of it said peace, love, and beer. Well, the first time I saw it, it just really struck in my head. And then I saw the gentleman again and again, and he kept wearing that shirt. And finally I said, you know what? I think I have to write a song. And that gave me the premise for the story of how beer could bring a lot of different people of diverse backgrounds and ethnicities together. And that's what it was called, Peace, Love, and Beer. Another example is using simple diatonic chords and melodies, taking 1/4, for instance, just strumming on the guitar, like put a G to a C to a G to a D, and then just putting in gibberish. Da, 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 da. And then you could take that and, I was staring at her, looking around, and slipping in lyric, whatever. It's just a start. It's kindle to the fire, as we can say. Another way is you might just come up with a riff. For instance, this is a riff I came up with that I built the whole song around. Title wasn't there yet, but the riff was, and it went like this. So that riff, that just propelled me and gave me the inspiration to come up with a song which was called 18 Wheels of Steel. And so a little riff that you could just come up with, and that comes by doodling on the guitar. Some other tips are, once you do have some lyrics or a plot or a story idea or a title, then imagine yourself as the character. Maybe it's a story about a soldier, a song about a soldier, for instance, who just came back from the war. So put yourself in those shoes. Imagine yourself like a fictional writer. And if you have to do some research, maybe read about World War II or Vietnam War or the Iraq War. And that will give you insight into imagery and pictures and geography that maybe you can include in the song. You also might want to write a little short story just around the song. This could be a paragraph or two. You might include, like the town, what scenery is around, what mountains or lakes or rivers. Any of that will help guide you and give you imagery to include in your song. Another way, of course, is taking instrumentals of other songs, stripped of melody, and insert your own words. You might There's an app called the Strum Machine, which is used at ETSU quite a bit in classes. And you just might fool around with that, putting chords together or songs that they already have, and then just ignoring the melody and coming up with your own melody. And it could start with gibberish or any two words, and then that might inspire you. You always have to look at the masters of any art that you're emulating to work in. And here are some great songwriters to check out, some of my personal favorites. And by no means is this the only group of writers that you should check out. There are tons of them that you will find in all different genres of music. Jimmy Rogers, right here, Lennon McCartney, John Fogerty, Bob Dylan, Willie Dixon, known for the great blues songs he wrote, John Prine, of course, Hank Williams, and of course, Willie Nelson. Again, I've left out a few that should also belong here, and there are many more. But all of them have one common trait. They've written just immensely popular songs. And those songs have crossed over and been covers by many different genres of artists and styles of music. And so they have the ability to write a classic song that just seems to resonate to such a mass amount of diversity. Something to think about. And then, of course, there are classic songs, and you should always dissect them and listen to them and get inspired by them. I wouldn't copy them, but I would think of it as to try to seep through you. And this is just a small list: Jolene, Folsom Prison Blues, T for Texas, Crazy, Hey Good Looking, Blue Moon of Kentucky, and Proud Mary. And again, another facet of all these songs is that they were so big that they were sung by many different genres of artists and styles of music. Just a great song can always be interpreted so many ways. The final topic of this instructional video will be career options. Now, I'm just focusing on if you're a songwriter, not a band writing for yourself. That's a different area. But if you specialize in songs, and maybe you're not the world's greatest performer, then here are some options for you. First, you can write for other artists, which if you look at the pop world and in Nashville, that still is an area. It's a very difficult market to get into because you have to have just an immense skill at writing a big song that an artist at a certain time feels is right for them. And that's not an easy thing to do because artists change every album sometimes, and they're always looking for different things. So who knows what they might be. That's why it might be good just to specialize in writing the song that you like a lot and that you feel is great and has a timelessness to it. So, and then you can write songs for TV or film, such as theme songs, songs inserted in TV productions or in movies. They're usually licensed. You can also write songs for the theater, which are stage musicals. And usually you write with a person who either writes music or writes plays. So they handle that. And you may have the option of writing the words and music, but sometimes in that area, you might just end up writing lyrics with a very skilled musician who writes music and needs lyrics. Different types of options, but it's another area that takes specialty because again, in that form, it's sung by actors and it is another different technique than just writing commercial pop music. And then, of course, there's writing jingles for advertising and commercials, which is another option and another specialty. Very short, more gimmicky, sales-oriented type of songwriting that takes a specific skill. So that is a look at songwriting. I hope it has embellished your quest to find out more about songwriting, or if you already have that inkling in you, you are a little bit more well-informed. I thank you and have a very good day.